Rise builders, do you know when to truly walk away from a situation or a person? Do you really understand when enough is enough? Well, life often presents us with situations that push our limits, whether it's toxic relationships, overwhelming responsibilities, or personal struggles. But at what point do we say enough is enough? When do we set the necessary boundaries or surrender a burden to God? When do we know when to do that? Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 through 6 in the NIV, it reads, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away." We got to know, when is that time? Recognizing the warning signs. We got to pay attention to the emotional, mental, and spiritual tolls certain situations take. Are you constantly drained or anxious or even discouraged? God doesn't call us to live in bondage to unhealthy patterns. We have to set boundaries. Jesus himself set boundaries, retreating to pray and not always granting every request. I want you to read Mark chapter 1, verses 35 through 38, saying, "No is not selfish, it's necessary for self preservation." You gotta find that word no. You just got to. Faith over fear. Faith over fear. Trusting God with the outcome. Letting go doesn't mean failure. It means having faith that God's plan is greater than we are clinging to. Even if you have to let go of that job, if it's toxic for your mental state, you just can't keep going at it over and over and over again. Even an unhealthy relationship will take a toll on your body. That doesn't mean you're a failure. That means that you are acknowledging that something must change. Something's got to change. What is that thing that needs to change? Only you can answer that. Embracing the freedom of release. When we release what is no longer serving us, we make room for what God has in store. Holding on to things out of guilt or fear can block our blessings. I know, I can attest to that. There has been people and things in my life I just continue to hold on. Those things and people no longer served my purpose. And it took some time for me to finally let go. And I can tell you, I am in a better place, a more productive place, a more peaceful place when I decided to let go and let God. So, how can we get there? How? What are some things we can do? We can pray for discernment. Ask God to reveal whether you should endure or let it go. What are you dealing with today? What is it? You know what it is. You know exactly what is tugging at you and nudging at you and draining you. Assess the fruit. Is this situation producing peace, growth, and joy? Or is it bringing pain and frustration? Yeah, these are some big girl questions, some big boy questions. You got to do the work. Do the work. Seek wise counsel. Talk to a trusted spiritual mentor or accountability partner for guidance. Make sure these individuals have the right type of character and they can be trusted. You don't need to hear your business all over the streets. Okay? So do some digging. What situations in my life have I held on longer than I should? Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I truly trusted God and let go of what's holding me back? You know, Rise Builders, God calls us to live in peace and purpose, not struggle, knowing when to say enough is enough. When is your enough enough? Until next time, continue to grow and glow in the Lord.